Hello viewers, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about gas lines. The gas lines are done mostly, and so I wanted to show you what we did and kind of walk through the process. As you can see there, and the frame is backwards because I suck. That is a pressure gauge, pressure testing the system, and we are holding at right 10 pounds. And so we'll let that go overnight to see for sure. But so far it's been 30 minutes or so and no leaks. So that's good. Here's hoping that's all good. So this is where it's coming into the house. We're doing propane here and not natural gas. And so this is where the actual propane regulator and underground line will connect and go to the actual propane tank. So going into the house, we've got 3/4 coming in to start. That's coming off the regulator. That's turning high pressure to low pressure. And then we expand up to 1.25 inches for the main line for the house. So I did my load calculations. There are tables that exist to help you with this, to determine your longest pipe, feet for each appliance and how many BTUs that is and how all that works. And so when I did the math, I came up with 1.25 inches, and that gave me a little extra headroom too, just to make sure. So you can see it going through the house there. We'll talk about weatherproofing later, but we're sleeving it in a 2-inch PVC pipe just to allow it to go through the brick nice and easy. And if there's ever any problem with the line that has to get changed out, we've got a conduit that we can use to make that easier, so you don't have to bust out the brick. So let's go inside and I'll show you what it looks like in there. Walking. So it comes into the mechanical room, and mechanical room is all finished out. So we did a quick coat of paint on here, just kind of a gray, and that's all 1/2-inch plywood walls. And I had to do a little electrical finish out to run for the outlets, and so I will ignore that for now. So that's where the gas line comes in. Again, there's our PVC sleeve. We're coming up. We got our main shutoff valve here, 1.25-inch ball valve. All right, nice and easy. Here is a tap for a future pressure gauge. I just wanted a pressure gauge because I'm a nerd, and why not? But pressure gauges are expensive, especially if they're measuring inches of water column. So we left that as just a plug for future. So the main line comes up and we go into our manifold. Now, there is a much simpler way to run this on normal homes, but I wanted to do a manifold rather than doing a trunk and branch because, I don't know, I thought it was cool. And very convenient to isolate each line. So there's all my fixtures. So to the left, we've got the furnace for the HVAC. Then next was going to be an outdoor grill, like for a propane grill, but wife and I couldn't really decide where we wanted to put it and whatnot, so we just decided, you know what, we'll cap it, and if we want to add it later, we can. Next one is for the dryer, and then the next is for the cooktop, drop-in range, and then the last is for the tankless hot water heater. So you can see kind of a wonky path that some of this takes. This is my first attempt, and a large shout out to my stepfather-in-law who helped me out. He was a pipe fitter by trade, and his expertise was invaluable. He helped me get this done way faster than I could have by myself. So I figured I'd just take you kind of line by line and show you. So the first one on the left is the furnace. We went with a 3/4 inch line, teeing off of that 1.25 inch, and I just take it to there, do a 90, and then we basically shoot out into the garage. And where's the line? There's the line. And I just basically did a 10-foot section, and then I capped it. Because the HVAC equipment isn't here yet, I don't know exactly what it's going to look like, where it's going to go specifically. So this gives me options to where I can finish that connection once I know exactly where the equipment's going to be. Number 2 was the dryer. And we're actually going to have an electric dryer, so this is actually not going to get used. But I like options with things. And you never know. Maybe in 30 years, natural gas actually makes it out here. I doubt it, but you never know. And maybe the equation changes where I'd want a gas dryer. Why not? That's 1/2 inch. So that comes up. And this one was the booger for me. This one sucked. And to try to pipe and plumb, especially with me not knowing exactly what I'm doing because this is my first job and I'm trying to learn. So I kind of brought it up, did some crazy zigzags, all right, going up, punching through the joists along the other side. And we'll come around to the back side here. All right. And it punches out right there, 90s, goes under the dryer vent. Another 90, dog legs down there. All right, parallels the dryer vent. And then we hit the dryer box there. And then here, coming out, we have a drip leg. So that little piece of pipe and cap at the bottom is to collect any moisture, sediment, anything heavier than the gas itself will settle down into that before it actually goes into the appliance, so that you don't get a bunch of trash in your appliance. So there's the stub out for the gas for that. And the cooktop will go next, comes out right there. And this was kind of the booger because we had to punch through every single one of these joists all the way along here. And you can see we chose to drill a big hole there. That was a 2.5 inch hole for a 1/2 inch pipe, so that we had the flexibility to snake that pipe up into the rafter. And it was a bit of a booger to get it all up in there. We had to beat on it a bunch, but it's there and it's working. And so there we, bad frame, make a 90, and we shoot all the way down this wall. And I'm walking. All right, and it comes on the back side of that floor joist there, and 90 drops down, and we dump out right there. So that's where the range is going to be. All right, or rather the cooktop, not the range. We set about 24 inches. That should have it higher in the cabinet so that we still have space for drawers and whatnot, below the range in the cooktop. And we've got options too. If we need to extend that down a little bit, we certainly can do that. The last gas thing is for the tankless hot water heater. That line is a 3/4. Those things are very gas hungry, 199,000 BTUs for the big one. So that one, very simple, just up, over, and then down, put the shutoff valve there, and then we just capped it because don't really know exactly how the plumbing is going to go. The tankless is going to go on this wall, but that's going to come later. So we just capped it for now. And then I just went ahead and put an end cap on the manifold just to make it, honestly, to make it pretty. And if I needed to add on, I could, since all this is exposed. Since I'm in the mechanical room, we'll also make this a combo video and talk about the mechanical room. So you can see where the gas piping is going to go. Right there where you see the plywood seams, we're going to have a drop ceiling. And I'm going to put that drop ceiling at right about, I'd say probably 8.5-ish feet, basically right above, above those valves. We're going to have a drop ceiling rather than going the full 9 feet for a few reasons. One, it gives us a lot more kind of usable space overhead. The tankless is going to have 2 vents, an intake and exhaust vent, PVC, either 2-inch or 3-inch, I can't remember, that those need to go to the outside wall. And if I did a drop ceiling, then that would allow me to do that because I'll have to punch out through that wall there. Coupled with service and maintenance, it just makes a whole lot of sense to do the ceiling that way versus drywall. So likewise here, you see we insulated. I chose to use a mineral wool insulation versus fiberglass. So all of that got bad insulation. The rest of the house is going to be spray foamed, but this had to get done sooner. And so it just made sense to just do the mineral wool. Those 4 Smurf tubes there, 1-inch conduit for, 2 of them are for 2 different internet service providers, to be named later, but want to have the option for 2. And the other is going to be conduit to run a fiber cable from here to the shop. Actually, it'll be it'll be the one fiber demarc box for the structure. So I'll have fiber cables going into that for the shop, for the gate, and whatever else. So that's about it. You can see there's the outlets that we just did rip out on the outlets here, you know, just in the room, and those wires are just running and they're just kind of dumping at the panel for now. Actually, the one dumping at the panel is the dedicated line for the networking equipment, and the other lines are just tying off to the garage outlets, so I just tied them there, and that's it. So that's it for gas lines. That's it in a nutshell. There's not a lot to it in terms of just, okay, you literally connect the appliances to the gas, but it's a lot of work. We cut and hand threaded all this black pipe, and that's a workout for sure. So I think that's about it. Gas Piping 101. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.